Greetings, movie lovers, and welcome to another episode of Movie Madness, your number one source for movies and more. I'm your host, Matthew Karsik from Karsik Films.
And I'm Matt Cormer from Tundra Portal.
And we have a really big show for you today, but before we jump right into it, I have one quick thing I do want to say. This happened during the week, and it's... anybody who knows me knows I don't really Facebook much. I Facebook when I have something important to say, I'm not like a Facebook whore. But Eddie Routh was sentenced to life in prison without possibility of parole because he was the one who shot and killed Chris Kyle, a.k.a. the American Sniper. I saw that on the news and I was so happy. I went on to Facebook and I said something along the lines, I'll put it up here, our government got something right for once. And I went on to explain about Eddie Roth is now serving life in prison for killing the American Sniper. So, good for you, justice system. Well done. You're getting there. Alright. I just had to get that out of the way. Alright. We're going to jump right into it now with movie news. I have a few items for you. So let's just punch right through them. First item of movie news. Deadline is reporting that Steven Spielberg is considering directing another Indiana Jones movie himself if the script, of which there is none yet, comes to his satisfaction. This adds fuel to the rumor that Chris Pratt could possibly become our new Indiana Jones, since Spielberg recently suggested that Pratt would be his pick for Indy. Matt, what do you think about another Indiana Jones directed? From the sounds of it, Steven Spielberg he wants to do this himself. He wants to kind of keep George Lucas in the dark about this.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a great choice, and Indiana Jones is his movies. I mean, it was written by George Lucas, but he directed the first four. And I think it's only, natural that he directs the new one, especially the fact that we're getting Chris Pratt as Indiana Jones. What are your thoughts?
I know I heard that Spielberg and Lucas, they want to do another one. I'm talking back when they were considering the fourth one. They want to do the fourth one, and one of the writers that they had came to them with an amazing script. But George Lucas was like, no. We have to have aliens. So, I think as long as Steven Spielberg keeps George Lucas out of the mix, this should be 10 times better than Crystal Skull. Because, you guys remember my rant from a couple weeks ago about George Lucas. George Lucas needs to stop. He's ruining everything he touches. So, he's like a plague. But that's what I think. You got anything else?
No.
Alright. Next bit of news. The composer, Hans Zimmer, best known for creating musical scores for the Dark Knight trilogy, Man of Steel, and Interstellar, just revealed that his idea for Justice League will be to write themes for each individual member, which would then be used for their standalone films. Matt, how do you feel about each member of the Justice League having their own theme?
That's awesome, especially the fact that it's Hans Zimmer. Every movie that Hans Zimmer's composed has been amazing. I mean, you look at, he's done Lion King, he's gone from, one movie to another, and each one's just fantastic.
He did Lion King?
Yes, he did.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he won an Oscar for it.
Well, I can see why.
Yeah.
Everywhere you turn, somebody's going, "Ya, Zerbenya!" But I will correct you on one point. 99% of the movies he's done, he's composed, have been fantabulous. The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was not. The score for that was just ridiculous. Like the Electro song, that was stupid.
Dubstep.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be great, and what I'm really thinking that he's gonna do, and for the Justice League, he's gonna bring all these themes together in a way where he's gonna mash them to make one epic theme. Like you remember like the Avengers theme, right? Alan Silvestri. And the moment that theme started playing, and they were on screen, and the camera was going around them as they're in the circle, ba 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 ba, you're like, yes, yes. You got so excited. It's like, it's like the perfect music for the perfect shot in the perfect movie. I think this is going to be great. I think Hans Zimmer's going to do he's going to get us as excited for Justice League and all these standalones that Alan Silvestri got us excited for the Avengers. So, that's my thought. You got anything else?
Nah, it's exciting. That's all I can say.
It is exciting. How exciting would it be if they were... this probably would never, ever happen, but how exciting would it be if... Well, maybe it would. I don't know. I don't know how this works contract-wise or copyright-wise, but how cool would it be if they were able to let him use the Dark Knight theme for this new Batman?
That'd be cool. I mean, he's doing whatever he wants. I mean, I don't think it'll cause much copyright. I mean, it's still the same company, so...
Right. Same composer, same companies,
I mean, he can do as much as he wants. I mean, originally he didn't want to just because I knew he was doing Batman vs. Superman, so it'd be kind of weird, but I guess, it only fits that he does it.
But, yeah, like, I love the Dark Knight theme, but it would also be cool if he actually went and took, like, the actual, like, old school Batman theme, the and just, mixed that up and made it more epic, like, dun 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 dun, dun 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 dun. That was my violin. Alright, moving along. Probably one of my favorite pieces of news right now. The sequel to the Lego Movie is officially on the way. I'm so excited. And the official title of the film is literally the Lego Movie sequel. It has been announced that Rob Schrab, known for directing episodes of Community and Children's Hospital, is signed on to direct it, with Phil Lord and Chris Miller penning the screenplay and co-producing. Matt, what do you think of Rob directing it, and what do you think of the title?
I think it's funny, and I think it's going to get a lot of attention, and yeah, I'm excited that he's directing it, and I can't wait to see it. I mean, I love the first Lego Movie, and I know the second one's going to be funny. What are your thoughts?
Well, I haven't really seen Community or Children's Hospital, so I can't say from experience how I feel about Rob, but one of the guys from AMC Movie Talk where I got this news, is really good friends with him, and speaks very highly of him and has the utmost faith in him, and he's excited for Lego 2, and he's one of the harder critics of the show. So if he's excited for this, that gets me doubly as excited, because I know it's going to be done right. And you still have Phil Lord and Chris Miller at the helm, writing and co-producing, so they're going to be a huge part of it, and they're going to make it what we want to see. I think it's going to be great. You got anything else?
I don't.
Alright, this one's going to be really quick. Have you guys seen the new Avengers poster? Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
It's so awesome. Like, the people at AMC Movie Talk don't know what they're talking about. Well, okay, like, what they said was like, oh, it's all just Photoshop. There's no, like, artistry to it. Whereas I could see that, but still, you can't help but look at it and go, I'm so ready for this. The poster is just fantastic. It features, your favorite four up front. You've got Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and Hulk. And down towards the bottom left-hand corner, you've got Nick Fury, Black Widow, and Hawkeye. And then up there at the tippy top, you've got Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. And then, just in the light, you can't really see them, but up at the top by the names, in the light, you see Paul Bettany's The Vision, which I'm really excited, because he's not been in any trailers. We've only seen pictures. I'm really excited to see what role he plays.
You know what I just realized?
What?
It comes out 2 months from today.
I'm so excited. I can't even tell you. I'm more excited for this than I am for the Frozen short film that's going to be playing before Cinderella. Yes, I am a 24-year-old grown man excited for the Frozen short. Alright, but yeah. Oh, God. It's going to be a hell of a year, Matt. A hell of a year. Alright, I want to talk about this. Matt and I talked about this just before the show. Okay. So, for one day only, I don't know if you guys heard this. For one day only, a Power Rangers short film, Power/Rangers, was released on YouTube. This 15-minute film featured a very darker, grittier, more R-rated version of the Power Rangers that we've have grown to know and love over the years, especially those of you who grew up with Mighty Morphin back in the day, like myself. Excuse me. And was taken down the very next day by a branch of Saban. I forget what branch it was, but it was pretty much the company Saban, due to a copyright claim from the legal owners of Power Rangers. Even Jason David Frank, the original Green Ranger, wasn't thrilled with the film. He said that drugs and cussing and that type of violence just didn't fly with him. And he was actually approached about the role. Matt, I'm getting flashbacks to the interview again. Like, not necessarily the same deal, but I kind of feel like all these, corporate companies and, just like, I'm just for the sake of the argument, I'm going to say bullies are keeping us from freedom of speech. Now, I looked into this, and you and I, we both saw it, so we both know what's in it. Yeah, it is a very R-rated type of Power Rangers short film. Not for kids. Not for kids. But, what's the name of the director?
I think it's Joseph something, but it was produced by the guy who produced the Dread movie. Let me look up the name. It's just really quick. Just gotta find his name. It's on his YouTube channel. Because I know it was just put back online.
Oh, did they put it back?
Yeah. A.D. Shankar. Yeah, A.D. Shankar. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
Probably not, but that's alright.
Yeah, right now it has over 12 million views.
I can imagine. This thing has, stirred up so much controversy, and for good reason. I remember, did he put it back up?
No, it's the same one, but he must have, he put a little disclaimer in front of it, saying, this has nothing to do with Saban, this is all fan-based.
Okay. Here's what I think is stupid. It's pretty much Power Rangers fan fiction. And you can see that everywhere. Lord of the Rings fan fiction, Harry Potter fan fiction, Avengers fan fiction, Star Wars fan fiction. Everywhere you go, there's Twilight fan fiction. Everywhere. Everywhere. And people put stuff up on YouTube, and they never get penalized for it.
That's like me getting penalized by Lucasfilm for making Tundra Portal.
Exactly. And you can't even get in trouble from him anymore because Disney owns it.
Yeah. Well, still Lucasfilm, the company, will be like, hey, there's lightsabers in there.
Yeah, I read he took to Twitter and he wrote everything in this short film was paid for and shot by myself. Everything is my own. There's no pre-existing footage. And this was never meant to be sold. This was meant to be free. I'm not accepting and will not accept any money for it. It's and his exact his analogy was it's as if I drew a picture of a Power Ranger on a napkin and handed it to my friend. But I can understand both sides, because Jason David Franco also took to Facebook and put a video on saying, you know, I know you guys are asking me about whether or not I saw it and whether I liked it, and I was approached about it, but I turned it down. And he said that, and I agree with this 100%. He's like, you know, for the Power Ranger fans who grew up, the adults, you and me, it might be cool. We might not see a problem with it. But for the kids, Power Rangers is still on Nickelodeon right now. Power Rangers, what is it, Dino Charge? I think it is.
Actually, every season of Power Rangers is also on Netflix.
Yeah, I know that. I got all of them in my list.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Power Rangers Dino Charge is on TV right now. Now, if a kid goes and watches Power Rangers Dino Charge and decides, oh, I'm going to go on YouTube, and stumbles, and he's like, oh, I wonder what Power Ranger stuff is on YouTube, and stumbles upon that, he's going to be scarred for life.
Yeah. Well, I will say, I don't know why it's getting so much controversy. My reason is because there's violent Power Rangers short films already on YouTube. I mean, there's many of them. I mean, people make fan films all the time. I think the reason why this one got so much attention is because it was done very professionally, because it was done by a producer who made the 2012 Judge Dredd movie, and you know how long it was, and they got the girl from Battlestar Galactica, so you know it may even look that much more, you know.
And that guy, what's his name?
Oh, I don't know the actor's name.
Van.
But yeah, either way, you know, it's still a short film, but it has those professional actors, so.
Yeah.
But, you know, at the end of the day, it is still a fan film, no matter what, even if it's done by a professional director and, you know, and actual Hollywood actresses and everything, it's still a fan film.
And it was great. It was fantastic. I'm not saying I had a problem with it. I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
It does kind of like strike that inner child in you a bit. Like when you see all this stuff going down with the Rangers, it does kind of hit you like when Voldemort's like dying because Harry's killing all the Horcruxes. It's kind of like what is that? That doesn't feel pleasant.
Yeah, when Zachary the Black Ranger goes into that fighting mode with North Korea in that scene, that's when it gets really violent.
Yeah, that was, and Jason in the truck.
Oh yeah.
That was. But yeah, if you guys can find it, check it out. Unless you're a child, I don't recommend it. It'll scar your Power Rangers view, like, not even views. It'll just like, if you love the Power Rangers and you're a child, don't watch it. Wait till you're older. You don't need to see it. It's not going anywhere. Unless I decide to take it down again. Alright, next bit of news. Actually, the last bit of news. I only picked a few items this week. Is it? Yeah. Okay, so last week we talked about Blomkamp saying, you know, this could be my next film. Well, recently, while promoting the movie Chappie, both Neil Blomkamp and Sigourney Weaver dropped the news that the next Alien film will happen and will indeed center around Ripley, and will essentially disregard Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. Matt, what do you think about this news?
Yeah, it's cool to see Sigourney Weaver back in the Alien franchise, and especially the fact that he's doing this movie. I mean, I'm on board. I'll just say that. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm pretty sure I've seen all the Aliens. It's hard because there's quite a few of them, and then they go off into like AVP Requiem. But a lot of people, you know, they kind of like, from what I heard, they kind of liked Alien 3, and nobody likes Alien Resurrection. Which one's Resurrection?
I think that's when they clone her or something. I don't remember.
Is that the one with Ron Perlman in it?
I think that might be Alien 3. I could be wrong. I've seen bits and pieces of each one. I haven't seen them, like, you know, the whole series, you know, from start to finish. I gotta do that.
The one with Ron Perlman and that chick from Beetlejuice. That one's actually my favorite. I don't know which one that is. But I'm glad it's going to be revolved around Ripley, because I think Ripley is the key to this franchise. And to kind of go back and start over where you left off after Alien 2, I think that's going to be great, to just disregard 3 in Resurrection. I'm excited. You know, I'm glad Sigourney Weaver, because I was afraid. I was like, is she really? I don't know if she'll do it. But I'm glad. I'm excited. Now we'll just wait another 3 years for this shit to come out. Alright, you got anything else?
Nope.
Okay, that's it for movie news. Now, normally right about here we do what we call random topic. We're not doing that today. It's been a full week since the Oscars, and I have been building this up. I need to talk about it before I explode. So, for this week only, we're doing a segment called Oscar Recap. I don't know if I'm going to make a title. It's 10 in the morning, and I went to bed at like 3, so I'm tired. Yeah, let's talk about the Oscars. Did you... Alright, because when we did the Oscar show, which, by the way, I'm sorry, Matt, it was a disaster. I don't think anybody came to watch us. We didn't get any Twitter questions. I don't know if you watched our full show, because I kept going.
Yeah, I did. I watched the rest of it after.
Alright. Did you watch the rest of the Oscars? Were you able to watch the Oscars in full?
No, when I got the power back on, I watched the recap. I watched some videos online. I looked on IMDb.
Alright.
I watched acceptance speeches. I didn't watch it live, unfortunately. But I watched it up to the point where the internet died and, you know, all hectic stuff.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, so, yeah. We have to plan better next time.
I know.
And hopefully we'll have more of an audience next time. Okay. Just a recap of the winners. Best Motion Picture went to Birdman. Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role, Eddie Redmayne. And you know what really ticks me off is I've heard people be like, oh, they only gave it to him because he played, you know, a guy with a disease. I'm like, are you kidding me? You know, all these people, Steve Carell, Benedict Cumberbatch, Bradley Cooper, Michael Keaton, they are all incredible actors, and they all got nominated for incredible roles. Eddie Redmayne just so happened to have made the role so believable and added a human quality to this role that really won over the judges for the Oscars. It's not because he played... I really don't know what Stephen Hawking has.
ALS.
ALS? It's not because he played that. It's because he gave an incredible performance, and I think he deserves it. Best Actress, Julianne Moore. That goes without saying. Julianne Moore's the shit. Supporting Actor went to J.K. Simmons. If we all remember the days back when Sam Raimi directed Spider-Man and we had J.K. Simmons yelling at Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's all you remember him as, like, you know, him just freaking out.
Best Supporting Actress went to Patricia Arquette for Boyhood. Meh. I don't know how I feel about Patricia. I think Emma Stone or Keira Knightley or even Laura Dern. Meryl Streep. I feel like everybody but Patricia Arquette could have won that Oscar. I'm not a huge fan of hers. Anyway.
I really hoped Gone Girl would win something, especially Rosamund Pike. Cause
I know! I really thought Rosamund Pike was going to get it. She was my choice. I did horrible with my predictions this year. Horrible. Although I got Big Hero 6 for Best Animated Film. But yeah, like Gone Girl, that was such a big thing. Like, we had that for the longest time. People were talking about it, saying, oh, like, it's like a crazy good movie. Like, I didn't get to see it myself, but like, I would see bits and pieces of it, and Rosamund Pike, she made me believe that she was a fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, she's gonna win it, hands down. And then Julianne Moore goes and takes it, and I'm like, all right, I can get behind that. Julianne Moore, she's cool. All right, where was I? Best Director went to, oh God, help me out, Matt, if I butcher this. Alejandro Gonzalez. I can't even. Inarritu.
You probably said better than I did.
All right. For Birdman. I don't know. Best Writing Screenplay, written directly for the screen, went to Birdman. Best Writing Screenplay based on material previously produced or published went to The Imitation Game. I'm glad I'm glad like everybody got a little sample of it. Like all the nominees got a little taste of something. Whether it was like best sound, best screenplay from previous material. But Graham Moore, the writer for The Imitation Game, his speech was my favorite speech of the night. Did you see his speech?
I did.
Fantastic speech. I love the message. And my second favorite speech was, I think it was Patricia Arquette's speech when she got Meryl Streep just like busting out of her chair. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But oh my God, Graham Moore, fantastic speech. And I love the idea behind it. Like you're a kid in this world, and you feel like you're weird and you don't belong. You do belong. Everybody belongs here because everybody needs everybody. I just love the message. Matt, what about you?
Yeah, definitely very moving. I'm glad that they give those kind of speeches at the Oscars, saying it's not just about them, it's about everybody else.
And it was, for a split second, I was like cringing because he's like, instead of thanking people, he's like, I'm going to take this moment to say something. When I was this many years old, I tried to kill myself. I'm like, whoa, where is this going? And then he got into the speech, and I'm like, oh my God, that was fantastic. I started clapping in my house, even though it was just me and my mom. I'm not even in the audience. All right. Best Animated Feature went to Big Hero 6. Which I think I called that. Yeah.
Yeah, I called that too. Yeah, and I knew what was it? Short animated film?
Yeah, Feast.
Yeah.
I think I called that too.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy. And I actually picked up Big Hero 6 Friday on DVD, and it has the Feast short film on it. So it's like 2 Oscar winners on one DVD.
I know.
Best Foreign Language Film of the Year went to Ida. Best Achievement in Cinematography went to Birdman. Best Achievement in Editing went to Whiplash. Best Achievement in Production Design went to the Grand Budapest Hotel. The Grand Budapest Hotel was taking the cake for a while. You thought that they were going to take it home.
I know.
And like just before the show, you're like, oh, Grand Budapest is going to take everything. It's going to smash the Oscars. Best Achievement in Costume Design, Grand Budapest Hotel. What were the other? Best Achievement in Makeup and Hairstyling, the Grand Budapest Hotel. I think Guardians should have got that one. Because Guardians had way more makeup and hairstyling than Grand Budapest Hotel. Best Achievement in Music Written for Motion Picture Original Score went to the Grand Budapest Hotel. Best Achievement in Music Written for Motion Picture Original Song go to Selma. Went to Common and John Legend for the song Glory, which I thought was really funny because they came on stage and they performed Glory, and then right after they gave them the award for the song. How funny would it have been if the guy managing this, like, all right, when we come back from a commercial, you guys are gonna go on and you're gonna perform the song, and then after we're gonna give you the award for the song. Wait, what? Like, I'm not kidding. Right after they performed, they, announced the nominees for Best Music Written for a Motion Picture, the original song. Glory was on there, and they gave it to him. It was too funny. Best Achievement in Sound Mixing went to Whiplash. Best Achievement in Sound Editing went to American Sniper. Best Achievement in Visual Effects went to Interstellar. Which I don't think I could have picked just one out of this category, because the nominees were Interstellar, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Guardians of the Galaxy, X-Men Days of Future Past, all of which I've seen, with the exception of Interstellar. I've seen bits and pieces, but visually they're all beautiful. Best Documentary Feature went to Citizen 4. Best Documentary Short went to Crisis Hotline, Veterans Press 1. Best Short Film Animated went to Feast. And the Best Short Film Live Action went to The Phone Call. So those were our winners for the Oscars. Matt, what do you think about the winners? What do you think? And I also want to talk about the actual show. But before we get into that, what do you think about the winners?
Yeah, it's believable, and I'm glad for everybody for winning. Like I said, I was really hoping Gone Girl would win something, and I'm glad Interstellar won something. So, yeah.
I'm glad everybody got a little taste of something. Like I wrote them down. Like I just read them off IMDb, but I wrote them down on the actual day. And yeah, it's very mixed up. Like everybody got a taste, which I liked. Now let's talk about the show. I thought it was actually really, really, really boring. And they need to work out their format for the show. Because, like, let's say you have somebody for, I don't know, let's say somebody for best song, right? Or best score. They will show you the nominees and give them time, when they announce the winner, give them time to speak. And that's about 16 minutes, right? To show all the nominees, play all the scores, and, acceptance, I'd like to thank, whatever. And then you go to, like, Best Actor, and it's, like, 5 minutes, and they don't even get time to really talk. They need to evenly divide the time to announce these people, bring them up to the stage, let them talk and say what they gotta say. It's too uneven. You need to cut some things out. If you need to cut out the Oscar president or whatever she is, because that's not really for us, that's for the audience there, do that.
Yeah. Well, maybe you should give like a little idea for the Oscars next year. Be like, hey, this is my peak for the Oscars. You should take my idea.
Oh, I think if they, the Oscars said, hey, how did you like if the owners of the Oscars, or I don't know how it works, if they came and said, hey, we want to hear your feedback, write into us and tell us what you thought of this year's Oscars and what we can do for next year. Oh my God, they would get buried with the amount of mail. Because, first of all, I love Neil Patrick Harris. I think he's great. But he wasn't the best host that I've seen.
I think it was pretty good.
Some things were funny. I don't know. I think that whole thing with the box was just unnecessary. And I feel like they kept referring to it when they really didn't have anything else. He was calling out and putting seat fillers in the spot. And that wasn't really that funny. They were really desperate. They were reaching. And thank God Steve Carell was there. He was with one sentence he saved that little skit. I think we should get back some of the greats like Billy Crystal and Hugh Jackman. I don't know. I watch the Oscars because I like to celebrate film, and that's what they're doing. It's a celebration of film and artistry. But if you're gonna make this, like, it was like 4 hours long, the Oscars.
I know, it's crazy.
If you're gonna make it that long, make it entertaining. Do some skits or performances, and make it to keep us invested into the show. Otherwise, it's gonna get to a point where nobody's gonna care about the actual show of the Oscars. We'll either just wait till the results come online, or just fast forward through the BS. We'll just tape it on Sunday night, and then Monday night we'll go back and we'll just fast forward through all the BS. The one thing that I think saved the show was Lady Gaga. That was an incredible performance. I was not expecting that. And I didn't know it was the anniversary of that movie.
Oh yeah. I don't know either.
And she came out, she started singing, and my mom's like, "Is that Lady Gaga?" And I'm like, "I'm not sure. She's not wearing any meat." But John Travolta, man, he just popped into my mind. Him and the girl who sings Frozen.
Adele Dazeem.
Yeah.
Idina Menzel.
Too much face touching. Oh my gosh. I was online. I was watching clips from past Oscar shows, and there was one where Ben Stiller comes out in Avatar makeup. He's got the tail. He's got the Avatar makeup, and he's presenting for best makeup.
That was kind of freaky.
Yeah, and he had the eyes. He had contacts in. And funny enough, Avatar wasn't nominated.
I know.
But do stuff like that. Get the actors involved and make it more entertaining. Obviously you're gonna have the slow moments like the in memoriam and stuff like that, which I think that Joan Rivers should have been in that memoriam. A lot of people are like, she's not really an actress. She was more. She made the Oscars what it was.
Yeah, she was in Spaceballs.
Yeah, she was in space. She was an actress. She was in Spaceballs. A great movie. Everybody knows Spaceballs, and she had like her show where she would talk about the fashions of everybody at the Oscars and stuff. Like, she made the Oscars. She should have been on that list. I don't know why I keep doing this. Okay.
Emphasis.
Yes, emphasis. Do you have anything else to add? I have no idea how long this is going on for. All right, we're going on 40 minutes here. All right, we're gonna move on now. Oscars, I thought everybody did a fantastic job. I think everybody deserved what they got, even if they didn't get anything. You deserve it. No, like I just want them to make it more entertaining for next year. That's all I'm saying. Okay, but that's it. Now we're moving on to the segment called Trailer Breakdown. How this works is we have a couple trailers floating around in the movie verse to break down for you guys. We have two of them. The first one is Spy. Matt, you start. I need a moment.
It looks funny. At first I thought it was a serious movie, and then you see Jude Law, like, oh cool, it's gonna be this really cool action movie, and then you see Melissa McCarthy's character as an undercover CIA agent who has to do this undercover mission because nobody would suspect that she would be the one doing it. So I think it might be funny. I don't know where Matt went, but yeah, definitely it looks funny. I mean, it's gonna have a lot of jokes that you see in a lot of Melissa McCarthy movies. So when it comes out, I'll definitely have to see it. I mean, it does look like it'll have some funny parts in it. What are your thoughts on it, Matt?
Sorry, I went to go get a soda. I'm thirsty from my Oscar rant. I think Spy looks... Anybody who knows me knows I hated Tammy. Because it was written and directed by her and her husband. Whereas The Heat, Bridesmaids, Identity Thief were all written and directed by different people. And Tammy was a flop. I hated Tammy. The Heat, Identity Thief, and Bridesmaids I loved. And this is from the creators of The Heat and Bridesmaids. So I have high hopes that she will, make a good comeback after Tammy.
Yeah, it has all these really, big action stars too, like, Jason Statham, you have Jude Law.
Yeah. And it looks terribly funny. And I like the premise. It's almost kind of like a Get Smart type of premise. It's like a spy comedy. And it looks fantastic. And I have such high hopes. And if I get disappointed again, I might cry. But see, here's the thing with Tammy. I saw the trailer for Tammy, and I knew right off the bat, I'm like, this isn't going to be good. I already know.
No, what you'll do if you're disappointed, you'll cry, then you'll walk out of the theater. Or maybe you'll walk out of the theater, then cry.
I'll cry in the theater. I don't give a fuck. I'll cause a scene.
Like, everyone's laughing, you're just crying, and you walk out.
What's wrong with you? This movie is so horrible. Alright, the next trailer we have for you guys is... I saw the poster for this, and I'm like, ooh. So I'm looking for the trailer. Poltergeist. Poltergeist is a remake of the old Poltergeist movie, but more... made to be more for the 21st century, I guess. Actually, I'm really excited about this, and let me tell you why. Let me just pull it up for a second.
I think I hate seeing horror movies in theaters just because they work so well on me. Like I hate doing it so much. I mean, you can't pay me any amount of money to see a horror movie in X Plus. There is no way. You'll be crying because of how bad the new cop movie is. If it's bad, I'll be crying because how scared I am.
I will drag you to a horror movie, Matt. I can promise you that.
I mean, I saw Evil Dead. And
that was a good movie. And the makers of the Evil Dead are making this. But the reason why I'm excited about this is because it has two of my favorite underappreciated actors. You have Sam Rockwell. I think he's a great actor. One of my favorite roles that he did was Galaxy Quest. I love that movie.
Yeah, what was he? Just the guy or whatever?
Yeah, he was just the guy without a name. And then you have Jared Harris. I love that guy. I don't know why. I like his accent, and his face is kind of weird, but that's okay. Wow, he's a good actor. He was in an Adam Sandler movie that I liked. Mr. Deeds. He played the news reporter on Mr. Deeds, and I like those guys. And this looks terrifying, absolutely terrifying. I know I say that about a lot, and I know I said that about Annabelle, and I was wrong. But I'm eating it up. I'm eating it up. It looks pretty terrifying.
You gonna go see it X Plus if it comes out there?
Oh my god. I don't know what I'm gonna do if this comes out in X Plus. Yeah, so basically the premise of the trailer is that I'm
just gonna say this now, if you go see an X Plus and there's jump scares, you might need to bring an extra pair of pants.
I'm starting to get pop-ups. I don't like that. Okay. Legendary filmmaker Sam Raimi, who we talked about earlier about Spider-Man, and director Gil Keenan reimagine and contemporize the classic tale about a family whose suburban home is invaded by angry spirits. When the terrifying apparitions escalate their attacks and take the youngest daughter of the family must come together to rescue her. Written by 20th Century Fox. Another synopsis of the movie is a young family is visited by ghosts in their home. At first, the ghosts appear friendly, moving objects around the house to the amusement of everybody. Then they turn nasty and start to terrorize the family before they kidnap the youngest daughter. This... I haven't seen the old Poltergeist, but...
I have. And here's the other thing I forgot to mention. In the original Poltergeist, they use actual skeletons as props. Like, the synopsis of the original one is the house that they live in is actually built off like a cemetery, like a huge cemetery, and they start like all these mistakes start coming to light. But in real life, the actors and actresses all died like in like weird stuff. Like the little girl died from a disease. And then, like, not too long later, like, the older sister got killed by her boyfriend, got, like, beaten by her boyfriend to death. So it's just, like, it's really freaky. It's just, like, that just freaks me out.
But,
that's why I'm very on the edge. It's like, is something going to happen to the actors of this new movie? It's just like...
I hope not, because I just named two of my faves. But, horror films, they need a boost, and hopefully this will be that boost. Because Lazarus Effect, which just came out, which we'll be talking about later, it's not doing so hot. So hopefully this will give the horror movie genre that we have right now a good boost. That's all I have to say. Are you all set?
I'm all set.
All right. Normally we'd go on to the topic viewed and reviewed, but unless Matt saw a movie that I don't know about, we got nothing.
I saw Dumb and Dumber 2. I don't know if you want to talk about it.
Go for it. I didn't really see it, but you know it's better than how. All right, wait. Let me. Now we're moving to the segment called Viewed and Reviewed. I was far too busy this week, but Matt, take it away.
I'll be quick. It was funny. There's some good humor in it. It's really weird compared to the first one. There's a lot of weird humor in it, but I did enjoy it. I'll just say that. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it was funny. I'll say that.
Okay.
Sorry.
I saw working at the theater. I see snippets of films, and it looked okay from what I saw, and I'll have to go and watch it. I gotta go watch the first one. I haven't seen it in a while, but yeah, it looked all right. Okay. I'm losing my mind. We're coming to that. Think before I speak. Okay. We've now come to that segment of the show for Topic Attack. How this works is Matt and I have a question for each other, but we don't know what the other one is going to ask us. So, after we ask the question, we start a timer, and in 60 seconds or less, we have to give all our thoughts about that topic. We already kind of talked about my topic. So, normally, I'll flip a coin to see who goes first. But, Matt, why don't you go first while I quickly try to think of something else?
Okay. This one's pretty straightforward. I'll just start now. Do you think bigger budget films would win more Oscars next year? Like Star Wars, Jurassic World. I know Birdman and Grand Budapest Hotel. They were like more on the lower budget side. They're not like the big blockbusters. So do you think like the big ones like Jurassic World, Star Wars, Terminator, and all the other big ones like Mad Max? Do you think they'll win more Oscars?
As opposed to low budget films?
Yeah, like independent ones, like like Whiplash and stuff.
Well, let's look at Whiplash. Like, what did Whiplash win? Whiplash won a couple things, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it won Best Mixing. J.K. won for Best Supporting Actress. Actor. I feel like it doesn't matter how big of a budget you have. Whatever budget you have, you gotta know how to use it right. You gotta know how to distribute it with the right.
Like Transformers.
You have to know how to use your budget to make a good film. Like, if you have a big budget, that doesn't mean shit. You can make like a movie with tons of effects and explosions and it just looks so awesome, but if there's no story, there's no way you're gonna win an Oscar.
Okay, yeah, I like it. I think it was like 40 seconds, but I kind of came in the conversation, so it's kind of.
Yeah, you've been doing that a lot lately.
I know. I'm just. But yeah, I agree. If you have a budget, like Michael Bay has over $200 million to make a Transformers movie, but look how Age of Extinction it was. It won a Razzie Award, but it's not really a good award. But I think it all depends on who you cast, how the story is, and just gotta do your best to make a good movie.
Yeah. All right. I'm just gonna pull this out of my ass. This might be very difficult. Let me get my stopwatch.
I'll do my goodest.
What?
I'll do my goodest.
You're good. All right. That makes sense. All right. Timer will start after I read the question. It's pretty simple. Name the top 10 movies that you're excited for in 2015. Go.
Terminator, Mad Max, Jurassic World. It's hard. I'm just thinking what's coming.
Not so easy, huh?
SpongeBob, but I already saw it. It was good, but it still came out. I got this. I just gotta think what's going. I'm drawing a blank.
30 seconds.
Pixels. That's coming out.
Okay, that's 5.
Oh, Mission Impossible.
6.
What's the other one? What is it? Spectra. 007 film.
7.
The Snowden movie.
8.
What's it called? Oh, Goosebumps. And Star Wars.
9 and 10. Yes! You lose! 1 minute and 7 seconds.
I'm sorry, I was put on the spot. I had to think. I got it though. I got all 10.
Yeah, oh my god, I've been waiting for that. Oh. Oh, I'm gonna have to make a graphic for that. Oh, that made my day. Like, I'm over here looking at my stopwatch like, oh my god, he's not gonna make it. I can't even... I can barely give you my top 5. Like, Avengers, Star Wars.
Oh, I didn't even say Avengers.
I know. I'm like, is he gonna say Avengers? It's in 2 months.
I was thinking of later in the year, and then I remember SpongeBob, so I jumped back and forth. I'm just trying to like put up for all the movies, you know. I'm thinking of seeing, the big ones, and then, I'm glad I thought of Goosebumps because.
Actually, I can give you like my top 5 because like there's Avengers, Jurassic World, Ant-Man, Ted 2. Fast and Furious, Star Wars, Hunger Games, Mockingjay Part 2, Home, Inside Out, and
Not so easy, is it?
no. I'm gonna go ahead and say Spy. But I did it quicker than you. Alright. That was fun. Now we're coming to that segment of the show called Theater Story Time. This is how this works. For those of you who don't know, I work at a movie theater. And when you work at a movie theater, you come across a lot of interesting characters and unusual situations. I have 2 quick stories for you today. Very quick stories. So let me just go right into it. Okay. Sit down. Let's open our books. Once upon a time at BV14, I was cleaning theaters. And it was just me. And it wasn't too busy because I do a lot of morning shifts. And during the week, it's really not that busy. There's like maybe 2 or 3 of us on, which is okay. So I went to go clean one of the theaters that 50 Shades of Grey was in, right? And the last people walking out of the theaters, these 2 old ladies, right? And I don't know if they were lesbians or they're just friends. I just assumed that they were friends. That probably read the book and wanted to see how the movie stood up, right? And they're the very last ones out of the theater. Everybody else is gone. And these old ladies are coming down the stairs. One gets down, she kind of like nods to me as to say, have a good day. And the last one comes down, she looks at me and she says, "That was hot."
Oh my god.
I lost my shit. I couldn't even respond. I didn't know what to come back with. I just started laughing. I didn't expect that, and that made my day. Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh my god. That caught me so off guard. I can't even. Oh.
Wow.
It was too funny. And
You telling your workers about that?
oh yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
And the second story I have for you guys is I have discovered that Tyler Perry's Medea, the character Medea, is real in male form. This guy comes up to me. He's tall, maybe about 6 foot tall, black man. He comes up to me and he has the exact same voice as Medea has. He comes up to me, "Hello, young man." And I'm like, "How are you doing today?" "I'm doing well. How about you?" I'm like, "I'm doing well. Theater's going to be all the way down to your left." "Well, thank you very much, young man." Hallelujah. And I'm like, what? It just happened. I could have sworn. I don't know why he has this voice, but he sounded just like Medea. And it was the greatest thing I have ever experienced in my life. And what's funny about these stories is that I get some of the lighter stories, but I was talking with, I worked yesterday and I was talking with my buddy Nate, and he has some stories. Like, we need to get him on the show because he has better stories. Yeah, but that's the theater story time for today. The end. My nose just got stuffed up for some strange reason. I don't know. Damn it, Obama. Alright.
Probably because it's about to snow again.
Shut up! Alright. We've reached that part of the show for box office. We have box office numbers for you. Dominating the number one spot, pun intended, is 50 Shades of Grey. This week it grossed $22.2 million, which makes its total gross about $129 million. Standing strong at number 2 is Kingsman: The Secret Service. This week it made $18.3 million, which makes its total gross $67.9 million. Flipping Krabby Patties at number 3 is the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water. This week it made $16.5 million, which makes its total gross $126 million. Running in at number 4 is McFarlane USA. It's its first week, so the total gross for its first week was $11 million, which isn't too bad. And being the Duff at number 5 is Duff. Its first week it made $10.8 million. Matt, what do you think about those numbers?
Yeah, I believe it. I'm glad that the SpongeBob is still up there, you know. It's a great film.
Okay, what do you think about my puns?
I think it's very funny, especially the whole 50 Shades of Grey dominating.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been planning that for the week, the entire week. I've had that planned.
Great to say that.
All right, DVD releases. We have Big Hero 6, which I picked up, and I suggest you do too, because 2 Oscar winners and 1 movie. Big Hero 6, it's got 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's certified fresh, motherfucker. Starring Ryan Potter and Scott Adsit. It's rated PG. Next we have Horrible Bosses 2, starring Jason Bateman, Jason Sudeikis, Charlie Day. Got 35% on Rotten Tomatoes, but it actually was pretty... I thought it was better than that. I thought it was pretty funny. I liked it. It's rated R. Next is Whiplash, an Academy Award-winning film. It didn't win Best Picture, but it won... We just talked about this. Best Mixing. J.K. Simmons won Best Supporting Actor. 95% of Rotten Tomatoes. It's certified fresh. Starring Miles Teller, J.K. Simmons, rated R. And the last one is Beyond the Lights. That's got an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes. That is a fresh movie right there. Starring Danny Glover and... I'm going to butcher this name and it's going to be so funny. I can't even get it out. Gugu Mbatha Raw. I'm sorry. That's what it looks like. That's literally what it is. The first name is Gugu. Gugu. The next, I don't know if it's part of the last name or the middle name, but it's Mbatha. Mbatha. And then Raw. Oh gosh. I'm sorry if I butchered that. It's rated PG-13. Go check that out. Now showing, 2 movies came out this week, Focus and The Lazarus Effect. I have in my hand the March and February movie synopsis. So I'm gonna do this with the now showings. I'm gonna tell you what they're about so you can figure out if you want to go see it. Let's start with Focus as soon as I can find it. Here it is. Focus. Will Smith stars as Nicky, a seasoned con man who becomes romantically involved with a young protege. 3 years after Nicky breaks it off with Jess, he runs into her in Buenos Aires as he's trying to pull off a major job. Now an experienced con artist in her own right, Jess throws a wrench in Nicky's plans and makes him question whether he can trust her or if she's just working him as part of her own scam. Rated R for language, some sexual content, and brief violence. It opened on February 27th. And then we have The Lazarus Effect. Olivia Wilde and Mark Duplass star in this horror movie about a group of medical students who discover a way to bring dead patients back to life. When they use their method to reanimate one of their own, they soon learn the consequences of their actions. Rated PG-13 for a tense sequence of horror, violence, terror, and some sexual reference. It also opened on the 27th. Matt, with those synopses, what do you have any predictions for these movies?
I think both do pretty well. I mean, especially Focused. I don't know in terms of The Lazarus Effect. I mean, I did see the trailer, and Olivia Wilde is a really great actress. I mean, I love Tron Legacy. It's one of my favorite films of all time. But, the whole horror genre is going to freak me out. But we'll have to wait and see. Time will tell to see how good it's going to do.
I love Olivia Wilde. I think she's a great actress, and she's not bad to look at as well. I think Lazarus Effect will be successful for those kids, for the teenagers. It's PG-13, and Lord knows that nothing excites a teenager more than a PG-13 horror film, because, and I kid you not, this has happened. Like, we all know that if there's an R-rated horror film, we are ready. Us ushers, we're ready to card you, look at your birthday, say, you're not old enough, you can't come in, okay? And then we crush your dreams, and then you have to go get tickets to fucking SpongeBob. Nothing excites a teenager more than a PG-13 horror film, because we can't say anything. We can't. You give us a ticket, we rip it, this theater's over there, and you've got that look about you. It's like, yeah, I'm the shit. It's like, we know. So I think all the teenage kids are going to go see this. Just because it's as close to an R-rated film as they can get, pretty much. In terms of Focus is R-rated. And Rotten Tomatoes actually said that Focus is slick and sleek, but with too many twists. Now, I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if I really want to go see it because, like, I have, like, movies prioritized that I need to see. And that's kind of really hasn't made the list. But, you know, I thought, like, the girl being a con woman in her own right and throwing a wrench into his plan was twist enough. Like, they're saying too many twists. How many twists are in this thing? I mean, it's like, you know, they're trying to pull off a job, and then Godzilla comes and starts crushing the city. It's like,
yeah, with Walter White writing it.
Yeah. And then, you know, and then the Avengers come in to try and stop Godzilla. Is that what they're talking about? I don't know. All right. Do you have anything to add?
No.
All right. Now we're moving on to a segment called Netflix Pick of the Week. How this works is that Matt and I will bring you something beyond the realm of theater going and give you a little something that you can do right now. This week's Netflix Pick of the Week is Earth to Echo. Earth to Echo was just added to Netflix. Let me bring up... I went and I saw Earth to Echo. And Matt's gone. I went and I saw Earth to Echo. And I didn't really have high hopes for it. I made the analogy like somebody else did. Somebody stole my analogy, saying that it was like WALL-E meets E.T. And I said that way before, like, any, you know, you saw, like, the spots on TV. Oh, it's like WALL-E meets E.T. I made that reference before anybody else did. So, you heard it right here, right now. That should have been my quote. Just saying. But I went and I saw it, and I saw the trailer. I'm like, it looks alright, you know. But I went and I saw it, and I actually really enjoyed it. I got really invested. And first of all, it's a found footage type of film. And Lord knows I love me some found footage. So it's about this cute little alien who crash lands here. Alien robot. And he needs the help of these children to help build his ship back up so he can get the fuck out. It got a 48% on Rotten Tomatoes, which actually isn't bad. And it also got a 48 audience score. 48% liked it. I liked it.
I haven't seen it, but I'm going to see it since it's on Netflix now.
Yeah, like... He's just the cutest fucking thing in the world! How can you not like it? I guess the critics' consensus is Earth to Echo doesn't do itself any favors by beguiling compares. I don't know what beguiling means. Comparison to E.T., but for younger viewers, it should prove a reasonably entertaining diversion. First of all, I'm 24. I might have been 23 when I saw this. But that's beside the point. I'm a grown man, and I enjoyed this. So... I tell you, man, these critics are too tough. Critics are too tough nowadays. But, guys, despite what Rotten Tomatoes says, because Rotten Tomatoes isn't always right. Okay? If you feel in your heart of hearts that you gotta go see a movie, you go see it. Matt, where did you go now?
Yeah, I had to get it started too.
I'm trying to do a show with you. All right.
Hey, you got started too.
All right, so yeah, Earth to Echo. Go check it out, guys. It's on Netflix right now. It's actually way better than people say.
Remember the saying, everyone's a critic.
Yeah, everybody's a critic. I'm a critic, but I'm nice.
But, the only critic that you can trust the most is yourself, Everyone can say, this is the worst movie ever, but you can see and you're like, you know what, I like this movie, I don't care what anybody else says. I mean, like, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, it's crazy, but I like it because, it's still one of the first video game movie adaptations, and it's dark, but I enjoy it because I watched it as a kid. I mean, do I think it's, a great film? No, but I still enjoy it, so.
That's exactly true. And I like what you said about the only film critic you can trust is yourself. All right, we've reached that part of the show for mailbag and tweets. What are you eating?
French fries.
Oh my god. Matt, do we have any mailbag or tweets? No. Shocker. That's all right. Guys, feel free. Tweet us. Tell us how we're doing. Ask us questions. And we'll feature your tweets and emails on the show. We'll give you our social media information towards the end of the show. All right. We've reached that part of the show for shout-outs. Whoops. Shush. We've reached that part of the show for shout-out of the week. Now, normally I do shout-outs for people on YouTube, YouTubers. But something happened a couple days ago. And so I decided that this week's shout of the week is going to Leonard Nimoy. Leonard Nimoy, whose furrowed brow, deep voice, and wry sense of humor made Star Trek Spock an icon of sci-fi. He died in his home in Los Angeles after a long illness. He was 83 years old. For those of you who don't know, A, come out of your rock. B, Nimoy played Spock, the chief science officer on the USS Enterprise during the series Star Trek original run from 1966 to 1969. And reprised the role in an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation and in 7 of the Star Trek films, including a well-received turn as an elderly Spock in the franchise reboot Star Trek. Oh, I did not know this. He was born in Boston in 1931. Nimoy began acting at a young age. Starting in 1951, he had small roles in a number of films and television series before making his mark as Spock. Outside of the Star Trek franchise, Nimoy made his biggest mark behind the camera. He directed 3 Men and a Baby, the massively popular 1987 comedy about 3 bachelors forced to care for a child. In addition, Nimoy's photography work was featured in a number of galleries. He is survived by his wife, Susan Bay, and 2 children from a previous marriage. It's tragic. And I most people will watch the news, or, they'll be on Facebook and it'll pop up, rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy. Oh, it's so tragic. This is how I found out. I was on break at work, and I come back from break, and one of my managers is just shouting, "Why couldn't it have been Shatner? Why? Kirk should have gone first." I'm like, "What's going on?" And she's like, "Didn't you hear?" I'm like, "No." She said, "Spock died." I'm like, "What do you mean Spock died? Leonard Nimoy's dead." I'm like, "Are you serious?" And they're like, "Yes." So I had to I learned from my manager shouting at me pretty much. But one of the things that they probably won't say in this article that I just read is that Leonard Nimoy provided his voice. He was the narrator for a Titanic documentary. I forget which one it was exactly. But like I couldn't forget his voice. Like I was watching this Titanic documentary and then boom, he just starts talking. I'm like, oh my god, it's Spock. Matt, how are you feeling? Let it all out.
I'm really sad. I'm gonna miss Leonard Nimoy, and it's always so sudden. You never expect something like this to happen. Like you hear the news, you're like, wait, really? Like that's like the last thing you would have thought of. When you hear about it, you just can't believe it. And I still can't believe it. He's gone, and unfortunately, he's not going to be any more Star Trek movies. He's just gone. You just gotta watch his old movies and just to remember him. And he's left behind a huge footprint and a huge legacy, and he will be missed. I will say that.
Do you know if there was any plans for him to be in the next Star Trek?
No, but I think William Shatner might be. Because, technically it's in the same universe as the original show, because, it's Leonard Nimoy in it, so...
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know if he was going to make a cameo, because he was in Star Trek Into Darkness very, very briefly. Like, he was just, like, in a sit-down role where he's just, in front of a screen talking to young Spock.
I'm sorry if I seem silent. Wait! I found it! It's called, oh yes, it was called Titanica. Titanic with an A at the end of it. It was an IMAX motion picture. And it came out in 1995. I had it on VHS. Young kids, shut up. We had VHS back in the day. And he narrated it. Yeah. I wonder if I still have it. But yes, rest in peace, Leonard Nimoy. Oh, that's so sad. Like, not as sad as Robin Williams. Like, I cried. I'll be honest. But still, all right. You will be missed, Leonard Nimoy. That's this week's shout out of the week is to Leonard Nimoy. All right. We are coming so close to the closing, and for good reason, because we're going on, we just passed the hour 25-minute mark. I'll have to do some smooth cutting. All right, announcements. I'm just going to give the same announcement I gave last week. One of the bands that I do film work for, the Fellowship of the King, the Elvis Presley tribute band, will be performing live at Beatnik's on March 22nd. The address for this, if you live in the area, the address is 433 Park Ave, Worcester, Massachusetts. Come check them out. They're fantastic. And I just found out that we added a guy to the band. I don't even know this person. So they could sound better now. I haven't gone to any of the rehearsals. I don't get invited. But yeah, guys, come on down, show some love. These guys are amazing. And I'd like to get paid. So that's that. Matt, you got anything?
Nope. I'm all set.
All right. In terms of my channels, I really got nothing going on with my channels. I'm trying to get my game stuff back up and running. For those of you who didn't hear, the computer I did all my game stuff got a virus, and I had to restore it to factory settings, so I lost everything. I've been thinking about sending a message to the hit film to see if I can get the software back.
Yeah, yeah.
And not have to pay for it. So, because I really like that software. I'm so depressed I lost it. So that's that. And Matt, you said you got nothing?
Yeah, I'm all set.
Alright, well, that's it for us. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find Movie Madness on Facebook. Just go to Facebook and type Movie Madness into the search engine. You can also find us at Twitter at movie_madness. You can find us on Tumblr as well. Just type in Movie Madness Podcast. Or if you're old school, you can email us at moviemadnesspodcast1@gmail.com. Be sure to subscribe, comment, like, and share. I'm Matthew Kresick from Kresick Films.
And I'm Matt Gorham from Thunder Portal.
And we will see you next week with a brand new Movie Madness. And cut.
We are assembled here today to pay final respects to our honored dead. And yet it should be noted that in the midst of our sorrow, this death takes place in the shadow of new life, the sunrise of a new world, a world that our beloved comrade gave his life to protect and nourish. He did not feel this sacrifice a vain or empty one, and we will not debate his profound wisdom at these proceedings. Of my friend, I can only say this. Of all the souls I have encountered in my travels, his was the most human. Others?